In this video, I have something very exciting indeed. It's Jackie Chan's Police Story Trilogy on a brand new 4K Blu-ray from Eureka Entertainment here in the UK. And this is a very exciting set. So I'm going to go into the packaging, I'll do a little unboxing, I'll talk about the quality of the video and audio on these 4K presentations and the special features, and I'll just let you know whether it's worth upgrading to this set from the existing copies of the movies that you might have in your own personal collection. If you decide that you want to purchase this box set, I'll include some links in the description below, and if you use those, it does help support the channel at no additional cost to you, so I would be ever thankful to you if you do that. Those links are there if you wish to use them. Okay, let's just get into it. So the packaging, first of all, is very impressive. Eureka are known for doing these brilliant hard case, rigid slipcase designs for all of their box sets. And this one is no different. It is very high quality and definitely a great piece for any of the collectors out there who have a particular fan of these movies and of Jackie Chan. It's definitely one that you'll want to have on display on your shelves. It has this brilliant artwork on the front from the legend Kung Fu Bob, who has done many of the artworks for the Jackie Chan releases from 88 Films and now Eureka. And it's just absolutely brilliant artwork. I love the front design of this. It's so good. And then on the spine, it just says the titles of the movies. There's no ratings logos on here, which is always a plus because you know that I hate the UK rating logos. And then on the back, it's just clear. There's nothing on the back, although it does come with the usual J card or whatever you want to call it, which just has all of the information. It has, you know, a list of all the specifications and the special features. So you can just peel this off if you don't want to keep it on the actual case itself. So inside this we have individual cases for each one of the films, and there is a booklet as well. So I'll just slide these out and I'll show you what each one of these looks like. So first of all, you have the original Police Story with this original design with Jackie on the front. On the back, it does have the specifications of what's on this particular disc, and then inside the case there is just the 4K disc. So I do want to make it clear that this is a 4K only release. There are no Blu-ray discs in this. So if you're not capable of playing 4K, you probably don't want this set just yet. But with it being 4K, that means that these discs are region free. So no matter where you are in the world, you should be able to play these on your 4K player. So anyone who's not in the UK, please feel free to import this and play it on your player and just enjoy this set. Then we have Police Story 2. Again, it's going with the original, very 80s font and the original poster design here. And it's got all the information on the back of here. And again, there is just the 4K disc inside the case. And then the third disc is, of course, Police Story 3 Super Cop. Again, you've got the original artwork style on the front, all the information on the back, and inside you've just got the 4K disc. And then we come to this booklet. It's a very fine booklet indeed, as we come to expect from Eureka. They do some of the best booklets around for sure. Inside you've got lots of essays. There's also a lot of production stills and poster designs and all sorts of stuff that is just, you know, great to look at to kind of get a greater context around these films. So it's a great booklet. It does have that new booklet smell, which I do love. I probably shouldn't be admitting that on camera, but I'm pretty sure everyone gives these books a bit of a smell when they get them. So now let's talk about what people probably want to hear about the most. That is the presentations of the movies within this set. It's quite an important release because this is, I think, the first time worldwide that the films are being released in 4K. And as you may know, Eureka released Police Story 1 and 2 on Blu-ray a few years ago, And Criterion also released those first two films on a Blu-ray a few years ago as well. But this is the first time that all three movies are being collected together, and here they are on 4K discs. So it's very exciting for the Jackie Chan and the Police Story fans out there. So is it going to be worth you upgrading to this set if you have those existing Blu-rays already? Well, so these are from the exact same 4K masters that were used on those older discs from a few years ago. So there hasn't been any new restoration or anything undertaken here on the first two films. It's important to note that, because if you're looking for some mind-blowing upgrade from those already existing Blu-rays, this is not going to be it. However, I do believe that across these three movies, this is the best they have ever looked. Certainly for any super fans of these movies, you are going to want this set for the increased video quality. However, if you're just sort of a fan of these movies, it might not warrant an upgrade from you. It just depends on your particular position with these films. If we look at the first Police Story in this set, I think the 4K presentation is brilliant. I think it looks very nice indeed. When comparing it to the older presentation from a few years ago, I think there is some added clarity there from the increased resolution of the disc itself. The addition of Dolby Vision HDR certainly helps. However, I have seen some opinions online from some other early reviewers of this set who have taken some issue with the colouring on these films. Now, their position is that these are tinted too yellow. There is a kind of yellow tint. Even when you look at the colours that should be white in the film, they are tinted slightly yellow. Now, I don't think it's an egregious colour difference here, and these colour differences were baked into those 4K masters from a few years ago, so this isn't a new colour grade as such, but because of the high dynamic range, the HDR grade, it does obviously emphasize the colour range, so it does kind of amplify those colour changes that were already there from the new 4K master. Now, that's a lot of jargon. What I'm basically trying to say is that some people believe the first and second movie in this set don't look how they should have looked when they were originally presented way back when they were released. Personally, it wasn't a problem for me at all. It wasn't really something that I noticed in particular. I just thought this was how the movies should have looked. Admittedly, my first time watching these was with the release a few years ago, so I haven't been a fan of these movies since they came out, well, before I was born. So if you are someone who is, a purist when it comes to these films and you want them looking exactly how they would have looked when they were released, maybe you might have issue with this. I don't know. You'd have to see for yourself. Personally, I have no issue with the colours in these films at all. And I think some of the people online, the early reviewers, are just trying to nitpick here. And I'm accused of nitpicking on 4K reviews, but I can only tell you what I think when I watch these, and I had no problems with the 4K presentation of these films at all. Similarly, with the audio presentation of these movies, they sounded great to me as well. They're not going to push your system to the max. They're not going to, show off what a 4K disc can do as compared to, a brand new film that came out this year. But for the purposes of enjoying these movies, I think they sound great. You've got the original language tracks from the original releases, but then you also have the English dubs. And there are various cuts of these movies as well. Particularly Police Story 2, I think, has 3 different cuts. So yeah, there's various different language tracks and of course the commentary tracks as well. I must say that this release is stacked with special features. There are 2 new audio commentaries for each one of the films here. There are some archival commentaries. There's all sorts of featurettes and interviews and things like that across all 3 movies. It would take me ages to list absolutely everything that's in this release. So I think for the price point of this, it's well worth it for any fans of these movies. There's hours and hours and hours of stuff to watch in this set. I'll just give you some of my brief thoughts on the movies themselves. I think these are such great fun. They really are. And I think Jackie Chan is very much, a modern Buster Keaton. I know many people have made those comparisons because obviously he did all his own stunts. He did a lot of the choreography. He directed the first 2 movies. He did so much with these films, and so many people got injured in the making of these movies that by today's health and safety standards, they absolutely would not get made, and they'd have to use CGI for a lot of these stunts. I mean, when you look at the first film in particular, there's the opening sequence with everything coming down through the town on the side of the hill, and then there's the stuff on the side of the truck when he's clinging on, and then in the shopping mall later on, the chandelier sequence, all that kind of stuff. You just watch and you go, I cannot believe that we have this in a film. I can't believe that they actually did it. It's absolutely crazy. So that's why they're just so thrilling. The action's great. And what's also nice is the comedic element to these films. Jackie Chan is a very charismatic, comedic guy. And I think that sort of gets lost in the second movie. I think the first one is definitely the best of the trilogy because it has that perfect blend of the action, the comedy, the story, and all sorts. So I love these films, particularly the first film. I think is absolutely brilliant and a real example of, the genre, the martial arts action movie. This was Jackie Chan, probably at the height of his powers, and this brought him to a wider stage, and he went to go on and make films in America, which was how I was introduced to him through the Rush Hour movies. So yeah, just very happy to have this brilliant presentation in my collection. So, in conclusion, I think this is just a brilliant release. I really do. I don't think that it's going to win any awards in terms of the greatest, picture quality on a 4K disc this year, but I'm not saying that it looks bad at all. I think this is a great presentation of these movies. It's great to have the third movie with the first 2, because that was missing on the older releases from Criterion and Eureka. So I think if you have the Blu-ray sets from Eureka or Criterion already, but you love these films, definitely get this. Particularly, as I mentioned, the third film being included, but also all of the brand new commentaries, the improved picture quality across all 3 films. I think it's a great set. So I implore any fans of these movies to go out and order this. If you'd like to watch some more videos about Eureka releases on my channel, then just click the video that's presented on screen now. It'll take you straight to it, and you can get some more recommendations for things to add to your own personal collection. So thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you soon.